guys, and welcome back to the YOUnited podcast. I'm joined with Mr. Dell and Ostini, both from 4Play.
Yo!
That was Ostini, and this is Mr. Dell.
Yeah, thanks for clearing that up. So, we usually take turns to say our topics. Did either one of you want to go first?
Oh, I'd love to get in because I'm quite eager, little beaver, actually. Nintendo NX, where are you?
What have they said? I haven't been keeping up with it.
So, okay, get this. 600-ish days ago, Nintendo came out and said, hey, guys, we have another console coming at a financial briefing. They said that to their investors. They said, we got another console coming. We'll talk about it in 2016. 2016 rolls around. They missed E3. They missed the Tokyo Game Show, which just happened in September. And now we're moving into October, which is less than 6 months away from their previously stated release time for the console, which was in March next year. So 6 months until a new console comes out and nobody knows anything about it. Unreal.
I just really like surprises, you know? I feel like you're not giving them enough credit.
No,
So 6 months. Are they trying to get it like released for Christmas or?
No, this is the other interesting little thing. No one knows why they're releasing it now in March, because it doesn't line up with the summer holidays for the US or the UK, like Northern Hemisphere, and it doesn't meet any holidays or Christmas when most other consoles launch it, like the late November type thing.
Yeah, I reckon they'll just delay it to a holiday.
Well, that's what the speculation is. It'll get delayed to the summer holidays, Northern Hemisphere, which would make sense. But I don't know. It's worrying that we haven't heard anything else about it. I mean, the rumor mill's been churning that it's this hybrid home console portable machine that has detachable controls for some reason. But honestly, who knows what it is? And it's really quite bizarre that Nintendo's being... I mean, they're usually quite secretive and elusive about their stuff, but this is just stupid now.
It also feels like Nintendo doesn't get into that arms race of the specs. They always do their own thing, so delays are just on their end. It's not like, oh, Xbox just announced that they've got such and such a hardware, and then Nintendo has to sort of prove that they can do just as well. They just sort of do their own thing.
Well, the reasoning was exactly that. Nintendo basically said when they first talked about it 600 days ago-ish that they're not going to talk about
counting,
it.
Right?
Yeah. They're not going to talk about it till now because they don't want people to copy the idea. So that in itself makes me worried that it's either kind of average software or it's software hardware that's already on the market. So it's going to be underpowered versus what's coming out with the Xbox One Scorpio and the PlayStation 4 Pro.
Yeah, no, that could go either way. Like, it's either a bluff or they legit have something really good, and it's hard to gauge. Like, would they be bragging about it? Nintendo's that weird that you don't know that they'd necessarily be bragging about it if they had something really good in their hands.
Well, just in this week alone, I cannot say his name, Yves Guillemot. I'm sorry, anyone French. That he's the head of Ubisoft. He's come out and he's praised it, absolutely praised it. They obviously have dev kits for games they're making for it, and he reckons it's going to put them back in the race.
Oh, that's promising.
Well, that explains why they wait until March, because from what my partner tells me, March and November are the big gaming months.
Really? How so?
Apparently, this is some time back, but they used to release all the big games in March and all the big games in November as well. So,
I guess to a degree that is as Dell was thinking with the Nintendo saying a delay is coming. So a March release is pretty close to the summer holidays, which is like the 8 weeks or whatever they get over June, July, August in the Northern Hemisphere. And November's obviously close to Christmas for that reasoning.
Yeah, plus people have Christmas in July as well. And I don't know about you, but I always need like a little bit of sucking up to make a big purchase. So they're probably just giving parents time.
Yeah, too true. But
yeah, well, sorry, that was another thing I was thinking of, because with the other consoles, yeah, okay, a lot of the people buying it are going to be uni students and that kind of thing that are going to be buying it. But for Nintendo, you'd think, like, historically, it's been parents buying it for their kids, so they had to center it around Christmas and that kind of thing. But this one, maybe they really are targeting that different audience a bit stronger.
Well, yeah, it's so hard to gauge what they're thinking and what the NX is going to be, because there's Pokemon, the mainline Pokemon series hasn't ever been put on a console, but a month ago the chief of Game Freak who makes Pokemon came out and said that they had something planned for the NX, and the briefing kind of didn't speculate that it was going to be anything other than a mainline game. And with Sun and Moon coming out at the end of this year, it makes it seem very likely that the NX might see the very first handheld home console Pokemon game.
Yeah, it could tie in.
But I mean, that's where it gets interesting. If the NX is actually a portable / home console device, then it makes sense that they're going to start phasing out both the Wii U and the 3DS, because they'll become superseded almost instantly.
Wait, people are still playing the 3DS?
It sold a heap of units. Had to filter myself.
Wasn't it the best selling handheld? Did it overtake like Game Boy or?
I think it has. Yeah, I'm sure the stats were like close to 20.
I mean,
20-ish million.
between DS Lite, 3DS, you'd think they'd have to, because the 3D one still plays the other one. It's just got a few extra games.
Yeah, it's just
like, it's fair to include them together, I think.
The Nintendo 3DS has passed 60 million units shipped. Unreal.
Far out.
And everyone just ends up playing Pokemon Go on their phones anyway.
Well, I mean, and that's the worrying thing is Nintendo, since even before Pokemon Go, they had Miitomo as well, but now they're really starting to push the mobile gaming side of it, which kind of pushes the NX again towards some kind of handheld mobile platform tie-in type thing. So it'll be really interesting to see.
It reminds me a lot of when people really like a sport and it's amateur and there's, loyalty to a club and everything, and then it goes professional and people are chasing the money. And it's the same with gaming. Gaming's more mainstream now, when it used to be a little niche, like for the nerds. And now it's sort of chasing the money. So the ones that you trusted and loved are chasing the money in mobile platform stuff, which is sort of the casual version of what you like.
Too true. That's probably not a bad little segue for your topic, Mr. Dell.
Which one?
Going for the niche stuff with the Mini.
Yeah, so my topic was also related to Nintendo. Sorry if you had anything else to say, Byden.
No, I'm good. I'm just butting in where I can.
Yeah, I just wanted to see if anyone's following that, because that one's interesting to me. We had to sort of get rid of sell our old retro consoles before we moved state, because we couldn't fit anything in and we weren't playing them at all. But this sort of changes the game. It's sort of half the price that the retro ones are, and comes loaded with 30 games. If they do similar to some of the other retro consoles, especially 64, but that's harder to do, but the SNES as well. So the NES one, I can't remember the exact list of games, but they're pretty legit. And the thing is, NES was good for those weird games that you'd find. That there were so many games in the library, and just an odd little one that you find that you end up enjoying. But you couldn't get them with the classic console, the real console anyway, because they're either so hard to find or so expensive, or don't work when you try and load it up. So it's not that big of a drawback. But I think, what is it, $100?
Yeah, it's surprisingly really cheap, and it really excites me with something like this, that modders will jump in and all of a sudden this might be able to play ROMs. And, well, I'm sure we've all played ROMs and emulated games, but if it does something like that, then all of a sudden you could download the entire NES catalog onto like an SD card or something and have it all preloaded onto this cool little retro machine.
Well, yeah, I've backed up games that I own using a ROM. No, it's like they're sort of unveiling more features for it, and it seems like they've put in more. I would have been happy with just it plays, the 30-odd NES games that it has, but they're adding things in, like you can view it in the original CRT style with the tuning bands.
Really?
You can make it crisper but keep the 4:3 aspect ratio, or you can fit it to modern like HD things. So there's a few cool little features that add to it as well. And there's the Famicom one.
Yeah, Japan, like this week, came out and said that they obviously didn't know they were getting one. They assumed they would because it's Japan, but they're getting the actual Famicom, whereas the most of the Western countries are getting the NES. And
all of this for just $100, though. Sorry, going back. Just a sentence there.
The Dan Minos direct thing.
Wait, but if you call that...
Byden sat there and she's just like rereading his specs like, oh, hold up.
She's entering a credit card into Discord.
That's why I'm so quiet and looking for my wallet.
Yeah, so the Famicom one, I think the controllers, it's purely it's not very practical, but just a little nod to the original Famicom. The controllers are actually inbuilt into that one. You can't take them out and use them for
Yeah,
something else.
it looks so horrible to play. It really
Yeah, but
does.
it does look really cool. I think so. The games, I had a look through the list. It looks similar. It's not exactly the same as the, what do you call it, Western one.
No.
The Japanese named games I do not recognize. I'm not that familiar with them, but I recognize a few here and there. But they have the US version of Super Mario Brothers 2 on it, which I thought's odd.
Yeah, because a bit of a derail here, but Super Mario Brothers 2 launched really soon after the success of the Super Mario, like the first Super Mario game. And in Japan, it basically got a manga adaptation of a game. And the Western division of Nintendo deemed that it would never sell here. So they reskinned the entire game to suit what they thought a Western iteration of the Japanese manga game would look like.
Yeah, and also with the NES Mini, I was just sort of trying to find a list of the games. For $100, you get things like there's like Donkey Kong, Mario Brothers, Pac-Man, all of that. It seems like a good value. There's some long games here. A SNES one would be even better if you get those RPGs on it. Yeah,
it makes me.
Kid Icarus and Final Fantasy are omitted, which is odd.
I thought they were.
The Japanese one has River City Ransom, which isn't on it. I'm looking at the list for the Japanese one.
Oh right, yep. Because I mean, imagine the licensing on all these ones. Because Nintendo doesn't make them all exclusively; they just publish a good majority of them.
A lot would be abandonware now, wouldn't it? Like this place it made, it's gone.
Yeah, but I mean, I can see like Capcom here and Square's there. Although that would have been Square Enix at that time, I guess, or Squaresoft or whoever they would have been making Final Fantasy.
Yeah, so that's pretty much. I just wanted to bring it up and get your thoughts on it. Like, is it something you guys would be interested in, the NES one in particular? Because we actually had a NES. It was one of the, so we offloaded a NES, a SNES, a Wii, an Xbox 360, and a Nintendo 64 before we came up here. The NES we probably had the most games for out of all of them, but being the aging console it is, it took around 20 minutes of trying to get it to work. But we still, had a lot of fun with it.
I think I'm going to give it the miss. All of the games I already owned on the NES and I loved, but they're not games that I'd want to play again. Whereas things on the SNES, I love the art style and I love how it plays, and I just generally like those games more. So I'd definitely pick up the SNES one, but not the NES one.
Yeah, same. So even if the SNES one was limited to say 15 games, but if it had those good ones like the Secret of Mana and things with hours and hours of playtime and multiplayer as well, I'd definitely pick it up, even if it had either less games or was more expensive.
I'm kind of with Matt on this one. I'm going to give it a pass. The only really console that I like, retro sort of thing, is the 64.
Yeah, the 64 is a solid one. And I very highly doubt they'll do that just because it's so hard, yeah.
And I'm still kind of low-key salty because I played the 64 with Mr. Dell like a couple of weekends ago and he beat me on it.
Oh, nice. What game?
Oh, I cleaned up.
Mario Party. He stole the star from me. It was really rude.
Oh, it's scarred. Still emotional scars.
I rigged it so Shy came second as well.
Well played, GG. Byden, you must have a 64 in your midst, do you?
I do, actually.
What consoles are you repping?
We just have a 64, a PlayStation 2, 3, and 4. Obviously, we like the PlayStations.
Give me one game from each, excluding Mario Party.
Okay, so I've got Pokemon Stadium for the 64. I got 13 for the PlayStation 2.
What's 13?
Oh my god, it is the best thing ever. It's basically kind of like, it's all comic book style artwork, and you kind of get framed and you lose your memory and you're trying to fight your way through to kind of, fight the guys that did you wrong. Really?
Oh, the cover art looks vaguely familiar, actually, just looking at it.
I really liked playing like the multiplayer, which my sister and I used to play, and we'd always just play the one map, so we'd rock at just that one map.
You don't need to tell me Block Fort and Super Mario Kart.
In Mario Kart. Yeah. No, I gave everything a bit of love in Mario Kart except for Donut.
It was a stupid state. And the top, the whatever the tower one was, I hated that one on the roof.
Oh, no, I liked the tower one.
Best.
He could bring out the haters.
So do you have Mario Kart, Byden?
I do not.
Oh my goodness.
I know. What use am I?
We had it. We actually sold it with the 64 when they came out.
Unbelievable. You had an
Did
opportunity.
they sell well?
Yeah, I was happy with what I got.
Just interestingly, did you guys game on computer in the 90s, like kind of mid to late 90s?
Oh, did I? Boy, oh boy.
Oh, here we go.
That's yeah. I used to play The Sims a lot.
No.
Actually,
We had a Mac like back then. I played the equivalent of Paint and opened it up and just made stamp pictures with like clip art and stuff. That was my gaming. So it was just the Nintendos and a friend with a Sega Mega Drive that I thought was garbage and never went to his house.
Nice.
Anyway, the last topic does, I don't know, it sort of goes on from mine. So if your topic doesn't, Byden, I'd like to get another one of mine out of the way, if that's all right.
yeah, that's okay.
I'm not going to allow
Just I didn't ask you actually. So when we were saying about the Nintendo 64 being a bit hard to do, are you Banjo Kazooie on the 64? You both?
Yes.
I feel like I know where you're going with this. Good choice.
Yeah. So Yooka-Laylee, the
Banjo Kazooie team.
Yeah, they're doing like a spiritual successor to Banjo Kazooie.
They're Rare Staff, aren't they? Or ex-Rare Staff?
Yeah, something like that. I think there's a mishmash of new staff and that kind of thing, and it's called Yooka-Laylee, and it's a new Banjo Kazooie basically, but with a chameleon and a bat of some kind, I think, instead of the bear and bird. Did you guys play the game?
Yeah, I loved Banjo Kazooie. Absolutely.
I actually feel that the game played me, if I'm going to be honest. I was terrible at it.
Oh yeah, what? I don't know. Yeah, there were some hard levels, but it was one of the classics of 3D platforming, I reckon.
I mean, that era of 3D platforms was stunning. Like with I want to put Crash Bandicoot in there. Spyro, yeah. Croc was great.
I remember all the ads from the Nintendo magazines and that with Croc, like eating Mario and Tomb Raider and that.
Yeah,
but course. I never actually played it. Yeah, so what they were saying with this Yooka-Laylee is that making these retro style video games now is tougher than it was back in the 90s.
Really? How so?
So the example we used, if I remember correctly, so if you had an item in Mario Kart that fades away when you don't use it, it was just that item and the texture on it. You do the fade on the texture and make the item disappear. But now, because rather than just having one chip doing the graphics and the processing and everything, it's the processor's got to talk to the graphical units, got to talk to the different core of the processor and that kind of thing. So it all it gets a bit jumbled. So if you change one thing, you have to change all of them. And now, rather than just the object and its texture, you've got all these sub layers and different things, and you got to change get 5 or 6 things just for one object fading at the same time to fade all at once.
That's so bizarre. Surely they would have had something that could at least link all of those attributes together so it's all performing as one.
I guess for the top games, the popular games with a lot of, I know nothing about programming or coding at all, but I imagine for the top games, like the engines and things would put that sort of thing in it. But because it's this retro style, which no one's really making heaps of money off, so no one's really doing at the moment, they don't have something like that. So they've got to sort of make things from scratch or use some less than optimized sort of programs to do that. And he was also saying things like the Sims speak. You'll be very familiar with that, Byden. And they used similar in Banjo-Kazooie to give the characters a bit of character.
Sorry, what did they use?
Just babble.
It's like
I was just hoping
Mumbo
you'd say it again.
Speak.
So
Simglish or whatever they call it. Like doing that now, it used to be easy in the 90s. Like there was something built in, and syncing the 3D head with that was easy back then. And now that's something that's quite hard and time consuming to do.
You sent me on like this weird little Google search now where I'm looking up games like Medieval. God, they were just the best platforming games. But you know what? It makes me wonder, will these sell well? Because most of us who have played that already, I guess we'd go back for the nostalgia. But people who've never played it, I just don't think it'd interest them.
Yeah, it'd look a bit childish, but also I don't like playing those. I mean, I could emulate a 64 and play all the games and use the actual controller with the USB adapter, but I just never did it. But if I have a 64 in front of me, I'll play it. I just didn't enjoy playing that kind of game on a computer.
I think they aged way too quickly, but interestingly, something like Yoshi's Story, who has a really unique art style, doesn't seem to age.
Yeah, it's not been rehashed, so it still seems pretty fresh. They tried to do that again with all the yarn things and the Kirby things.
I really dislike the clay and yarn games. I mean, they're fun to play, and they have a certain quality about them, but it's just so
not the
saturated.
Same as the quality of Yoshi's Island and that kind of thing.
But something like Wind Waker, it'll be timeless because that art style is just so beautiful.
Alrighty, so yeah, that pretty much covers that one. So who else is bringing a topic to the table?
Well, I'm going last, and I kind of really wish I went first because your guys' topics were really great.
No, what do you got for us?
Actually, so you guys seem to play a lot of games and stuff. I play Minecraft and Sims, so
nice.
Minecraft is my topic. They just announced 1.11, and the new snapshot came out, which is buggy as all hell, but they've got a lot of new features which are really, really needed. So they haven't ever upgraded the inventory space since it started, and all these new items are coming out, so that's been a problem, and they've answered it with what's called the shulker box. Now, I don't think you guys play much Minecraft.
Not currently, no.
So I'm not sure if you guys can get the right fangirl level here.
Sorry, just a question. I did see some brief patch note somewhere about a few changes they were doing, but there was nothing major and nothing that really, like adding llamas or something. But what is it? That Windows 10 version, is it the same as that?
I'm going to be honest with you. I actually have no idea about the Windows 10 version. I should have done my research before talking to you guys.
Yeah, I just saw some YouTubers playing the Windows 10 beta and that for Minecraft, and then at the same time there were these like a few dot points of the patch notes.
Because wasn't the releases meant to be like the next couple of major releases? The 1.10 was combat, and then the next one was going to be maybe like miscellaneous objects, and then it was going to go back to decorative items.
Well, from the footage I've seen of, we've just hijacked Byden's topic, by the way. We'll let you get back to it.
Maybe.
This is relevant now. But so in the Windows 10 beta one I saw, of the footage he played, there were trees that had fallen down in the forest. So when you go through the forest and, to find your wood, there's like
kind of dynamic stuff. Or they're just
dynamic.
New
it's just
models.
Yeah, just randomly generated. It's not even a model. It's just the blocks of the tree, one a stump, and then one block away, they're placed horizontally, like it's fallen down.
Oh, that's really underwhelming.
Yeah, but it just sort of adds to the atmosphere and that kind of thing. But it seemed like a lot of the updates were like that. Does that sound like it was something in the update you're talking about?
No, that's the first I've kind of heard about anything like that, actually. The stuff that's coming up in the update seems a lot to do with exploration. So they've got a new woodland mansion, which is kind of like a desert temple or a guardian temple kind of thing, something that you have to go out and explore for.
Well, that's what it was like. I was wondering what it meant by, because the way they worded this exploration thing made it sound like it was some different game mode or expansion, but they mean literally just things you can find.
Sort of, yeah. Like, the shulker boxes open up a whole new world of inventory. They've, obviously, which kind of gives people a reason to go to the end cities other than the Elytra. They've got a new villager, which is a cartographer, and they will give you maps which lead to the Guardian Temples and the Woodland Mansions. So it's kind of...
Oh, that's a heaps better idea.
Yeah, so you could go out and explore for it yourself, or you could, like, kind of find
a lot... 400.
Yeah, sign your life away and get a map to show you where to go. I don't know, I'm just really excited. I feel like it's a whole new thing.
Yeah, it sounds pretty legit.
For me to get back into Minecraft as serious as I did when I was first playing it, it would need to put side quests in there, like actual side quests where I get rewarded immediately in something worthwhile, rather than just, hey, why don't you roam around and you might find a treasure chest with diamond armor for a horse you're never going to ride.
Yeah, that's the same issue for me. Like, once you know how to, when you get that knowledge of like the crafting level of potions and golden apples and that, from there, like, I'm sure, you know, that there's people who are much better at the game who can do a lot more than that. But it feels like that's pretty much the plateau, and there wasn't much to keep my interest after I knew how to quickly get those.
Yeah, I get what you mean. I don't know, I just feel like the reason why Minecraft's so big is it opens up a whole new level of creativity, and it's not just like artists who can create all these cities. There's people who can be creative with like really softcore engineering with all the redstone contraptions and things that they make, and the challenges they face in making those, and yeah, if that makes sense.
Yeah, it's definitely.
I feel like that's two different levels, though. There's like a gamer, and then there's someone who will, like a diehard, who will make the mechanics of the game work for them. But there's the 80% of people who bought Minecraft to just want to play for the game, and now they're at the point where it's boring and they're past it.
Yeah, you see in any games people do those like freak feats,
for sure.
The mechanics and that kind of thing. But I do think that if the patch is like you suggested, it is a step in the right direction, because the exploration was what was lacking for me. Like, I enjoy the build battles and throwing on mods now and then if you jump in, but the core game, the normal game itself, as you play it like vanilla, it didn't hold anything for me.
But it is a phenomenal game. Like, for what it's achieved on what it was and what it looks like type thing is just unreal. It's single-handedly changed the landscape for kind of indie games and open world games.
Yeah.
Not open world, survival, sorry.
Yeah, I really like it because they've kind of, I don't know, I feel like they've given us an empty canvas and we've got to kind of create something with it, because it's not just the building and the redstone. People make maps and stuff and tell stories, and really, people make a living off of creating
it's
Minecraft
got a
stuff.
really high kind of modding and user community. Like, I feel like that's what's keeping people playing it at the moment.
Yeah, it reminds me a bit of Warcraft 3 in that regard, because Warcraft 3 itself, it was popular and it had its spikes of popularity, but then sort of faded. StarCraft and that was more popular than, the first-person shooters and that kind of thing as esports. But all the custom maps, you had people creating really detailed things and changing the game completely, and that ended up spawning that whole genre of games, MOBA games, from that. So it's a similar sort of deal, but I don't think they intended it, whereas Minecraft sort of did intend that almost. Eventually, like, I don't think the first time he did it, he had that success in mind. He would have been pretty insightful to predict that. But yes, definitely later on, he's definitely directed it that way.
Yeah, and I kind of just really, the one thing that I really think about Minecraft that sets it apart from other games is that you don't have to pay for these millions of updates that they do. Like The Sims, we're up to Sims 4 now, and there's like 6 or 7 other editions that you have to pay like $20 per stuff pack. It's killing me. I love The Sims, but
I guess a difference between those games is Minecraft started out as an alpha that progressively made its way to a full game, whereas The Sims...
It's unheard of now.
Yeah. I mean, I'm looking
Early
at
access
you,
making
DC.
it to a real game.
Yeah, but yeah, like The Sims has always been AAA, and it's always going to charge you $40 or something stupid for a series of furniture and new clothes type thing.
Well, they're upping their game now. They're adding like new gameplay with it now. They must have heard me whinge about it. But yeah.
All right, we've gone on a while now. Do we have a How are we doing for time? Should we get into the little contest, or do you want to keep chatting?
No, I'm ready to play our little game.
Oh, you're feeling hot?
I'm not.
Who wants to lead out then? Byden, you explain the
I
rules.
can't remember it. Yeah, can you please repeat?
All right, so in setting up for this podcast, about 5 minutes beforehand, I realised I didn't have a game to play, so I kind of just straight up on the spot thought that we could go through A to Z of gaming. So we take it in turns to say a game starting with the next letter of the alphabet from the one before, if that makes sense. So if I start with A, then Del would be B, then Matt would be C, and everyone knows their ABCs, right?
Refresher, please.
I'm not singing for you, mate.
Wait, what letter did you say I was, so I can start thinking of something now?
Okay.
One. Oh.
You'll be B, I think. I'll start because we'll go alphabetically. The person who can't think of a game, game in, we'll say 3 seconds, just to keep the ball rolling, has to say something embarrassing about themselves.
Oh, I've got a list.
Yeah, I just thought of one that I think you'll like, Matt, if I lose.
Oh, please. Let's not waste time.
Alright, so starting off with A, adventure capitalist.
Bubble.
Croc.
Doom.
E, excite bike.
Final Fantasy.
No, I can't think of one.
What is that?
G. I got G.
Oh, time. Drop it on us.
Wasn't it 3 seconds?
Yeah, can we get 3 seconds more? Bummer. Okay, so my embarrassing story, I've been hit twice with this. I'm doing a project with Matt, and
Yeah, boy.
in our conversations in said project, sometimes we'll get a little bit off topic, and we started to sing a song that, war, what is it good for?
Absolutely nothing.
And I said that, and I said the next line of the song, then someone immediately after said, what? Huh? Kind of thing for the next line of the song, and I'm like, it's a song?
Good God.
Yeah, but they were just singing the next line of the song.
You got swept up in trying to correct people to your dialogue and completely missed the joke.
In my defense, though, you said H-U-H, which I kind of read as huh? As opposed to huh.
That's it. No.
That sucks. I already knew this story.
Sorry, I'm just not that much of an embarrassment,
if I
really.
If I give a G game, does she have to say another story?
I don't really have another story.
I
I'm just
think
not
so.
that embarrassing.
Gallagher? Guild Wars?
Guild Wars.
Ghost in a shell.
What?
Did I start?
I'll continue on. I'm going to go with Halo for H.
Halo. Doesn't it start with something else?
Your 3 seconds are ticking.
Huh?
3 seconds are up, matey.
Oh, no. I was questioning him on his choice. I'm pretty sure Halo.
Harvest Moon.
Unacceptable. Ice Climbers.
Is it me now, or is Byden still in it?
Yeah, look, I'm out of this game. I had my chance
Are you
at...
out for good?
Yep, that's it, I'm out. You're Jay.
Joe and Mac.
Oh, what? Are you just saying names? Okay, Killer
No,
Instinct.
that was a SNES game.
I thought
Lemmings.
Monster Truck Madness.
Ninja Gaiden.
Open Sea Exploration.
I'll go Pac-Man.
Oh, God. Q? It's a Q? Quizmania?
Should have done Q, but... Rain.
Super Mario World.
Tetris.
Euphoria?
That starts with an E, doesn't it?
I think it's a UFORIA. NES game, buddy.
Okay. V. Oh God. V-Wing. That sounds like it could be a game.
Just say 2 syllables and you're good.
Warcraft.
No, I can't think of anything for X. Xbox. That's a game. Xbox demo.
What about like X-Men, World United or something?
What's the name? I couldn't think. I don't know the full title.
I'm gonna go with YOUukulele.
No, you should have done Yoshi's Island. Man.
Well, I was in the ukulele theme.
I'll finish it with Z for Zelda, but I think I owe an embarrassing story.
I think you do.
Yeah, I'd agree with that.
The only thing I could think of was that I can't ride a bike, or at least never really tried recently.
I feel like that's not a story.
Sorry, bro.
It was supposed to be an embarrassing thing about you. Right?
I mean, that counts. That's fairly embarrassing. Like, it's something that you wouldn't bring up at a party because you'd know you'd get relentlessly mocked.
But in fairness,
at school, all of the you had the where you learn the turning signals and everything on the bikes, and I had to get like the one that was attached to another one, so there were like two bikes next to each other, but with training wheels on it, because I just couldn't, because I never had one growing up.
they should have done that for me. I ran over the teacher.
It was like driver learning, and you had your L plates in a semi truck. She didn't make it.
Yeah, so that's pretty embarrassing.
I'd count that.
There was one that I used to go to, was that I used to have a phobia of seaweed, but I don't have that anymore.
Yeah, but anyone swimming in the ocean who gets touched by seaweed has a phobia of seaweed.
You just naturally think it's a shark and you're dead.
Yeah, no, it was more like walking through it.
Oh, okay. So like texture-wise,
touching me. Well, I think it was more about what could be in there, like a stingray or a lobster chop my toe off or something.
Oh, right. Yep. Apparently, you'll probably fill me in on this, Del, but seaweed's meant to be a really good organic compost.
Yeah, well, that sea solids. What a stupid topic for a podcast.
Oh my god, guys. Alright, well, on that note, I'm going to wrap it up. This was a bit of a long one. Thank you guys so much for joining. It was a lot of fun.
Oh, look, if you want to hang around, we're just about to go into an insightful conversation about organic compost.
Yeah, can't wait to miss that one.
Catch it on our gardening blog, gardening podcast.
Alright, cheers guys, and we'll see you next time.
Thanks, Byden.
Bye.